I was wondering where in this game this scene came from.
Raiden, do you copy? You must continue your mission.
I've lost all my gear. I need to locate Snake.
He was never factored into the simulation. Leave him out of this.
I can't do much naked, especially in this temperature.
That's true. You won't be able to attack or enter the hanging mode either.
Sensors wouldn't
Snake
allow
has
it.
my gear.
Yeah.
Raiden, take out Solidus and his men. You must recover Arsenal intact.
Colonel, are you under orders from the Patriots?
Your role, that is, mission, is to infiltrate the structure and disarm the terrorists.
My role? Why do you keep saying that?
Why not? This is a type of role-playing game. The point is that you play out your part, and I expect you to turn in a perfect performance.
Colonel, I just remembered something.
What?
That I've never met you in person. Not once.
Complete your mission, according to the simulation.
Colonel, who are you?
No more questions. We have Rosemary.
What do you
Excuse
mean by
me?
that?
Over and out.
Oh.
Hey, this is probably the roughest room in the game. You have very, very little in the way of options. If you get caught, fuck you. And like, yeah, that's the game. But also, if you get caught, fuck you.
Raiden, turn the game console off right now.
What did you say?
The mission is a failure. Cut the power right now.
What's wrong with you?
Don't worry, it's a game. It's a game just like usual.
You'll ruin your eyes playing so close to the TV.
What are you talking about?
Raiden, something happened to me last Thursday when I was driving home. I had a couple of miles to go. I looked up and saw a glowing orange object in the sky to the east. It was moving very irregular.
Colonel, what the fuck?
Suddenly, there was intense light all around me. And when I came to, I was home. What do you think happened to me?
Huh?
Fine. Forget it.
I don't want to talk to you anyway. Hey, guess what? They're gonna start calling you every 2 seconds. They do not let up.
Infiltrate the enemy fortress, outer heaven. Destroy the final weapon, Metal Gear.
Oh, I love this game. I love this game so much.
There's so many bullets.
Do we have enough to get through? Yes. Okay, just enough. Obviously, you can get out there without doing that bullshit, but it's rough. That's the hardest room in the game.
Even my patience has its limits. I just can't leave this thing up to you any longer. I'll do the fighting. You can just go home.
Why don't you do it? Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Straight up. No. Still. What? Hello? Excuse me? This is a running gag, a running Easter egg in all of the Metal Gear, not all of them, but in multiple Metal Gear games. Those are the names of railway stations in Japan.
Honestly, though, you have played the game for a long time.
Yeah,
Don't you have
that's
anything
true.
else to do with your time?
No.
Not really. Oh, goodbye, Codec. Or fucking Soliton. I can't... None of the doors work. None of the doors work.
An anemone or clematis plant's juice can cause a rash. When pruning them, it's a good idea to wear gloves.
Fuck, okay. Excuse me. So yeah, you are stuck here. Just keep talking. There are so many of these calls, by the way. I think they're random.
Variety level 13. Rescue Merrill. The return of Ginola.
All right, good talk. Good talk.
Good talk.
If you pause, by the way, this is what you get for Arsenal gear. You do not get a map. You get a fucking stencil, like, drawing recreation of not only an Ouroboros, but also the world turtle.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal gear is so cool and so weird.
Actually, there is something I have been meaning to tell you, but I just couldn't. I think you should know, though. On Saturday morning last week, I saw a guy leaving Rosemary's room.
Oh.
How should I put it? It was like they were intimate.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Sorry to bring this up during the mission, but...
They're just pulling out all the stops.
It's like, hey, he never liked Raiden to begin with, but now it's just like, no, fuck you, everything.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Jack, it's me.
Hi, Rose.
Jack, I owe you an apology.
If it's about that conversation just now, I'm the one who's sorry.
No, it's something else.
What is it?
That day at Federal Hall 2 years ago, it wasn't a coincidence. I was ordered to keep an eye on you.
Keep an eye on me?
Yes, by the Patriots.
You're a spy?
I suppose. Yes. It's an ugly word.
If the shoe fits.
Are you still there?
Was sleeping with
If
me a
it's-
part of the job?
Jeez.
I fell in love with you.
How could anyone?
I can't excuse what I did. I reported every detail of your personal life to them these 2 years.
Oh, that's a
What you
nightmare!
did, said, everything.
Must have been fun.
But some things I didn't tell anyone. Like what I felt for you.
So that's why you were involved in this mission. I should have known. Why else would they toss an analyst into the mix at the
Yeah,
last
it
minute?
didn't make sense
I'm
that
sorry.
Rose was
I
here,
know what
huh?
I did was wrong.
Not at
No
all.
matter where I go, I
It
get
did
used.
fucking make sense that
I
Raiden would
reinvented
come in
myself
here
to suit your
with
tastes.
no,
Hairstyle, clothes,
like,
the way I
none of
move,
it made
things I
any
talked
sense, and it
about.
wasn't, none of
You
it.
say you love the color of my hair, my eyes. They're not even real.
You must have gone over my psych profile with a fine-tooth comb.
It was my job.
Great performance. Had me completely fooled.
Everyone is lying
What
to
I really
Raiden.
wanted was for you to see the
Even
real
Snake.
me. It hurt to play out this,
Even
this
Snake.
artificial romance. It was worse to lie to myself than to you. The more love you gave me, the more it hurt. Because I knew the person you loved was just a character.
So
And
it
here
was
you go.
Artificial on my end too.
It
just
was,
a game, not the real thing.
it was intentional.
Oh, Jack.
That the fucking, like,
I feel
Rose,
better knowing
Jack,
that.
What?
it just doesn't
I
work.
was in love.
Like,
It
it's,
doesn't.
I was.
it's too
With
much.
someone who didn't
It's too,
exist.
like, it goes
I was
way
trying
too
to be
hard
someone
all of
I
the time,
wasn't.
and it's the
I
most
loved it, but
inopportune
wasn't
thing.
real.
And it's like,
I don't know who
of
you
course,
really are.
of course, it was
The
this
person I
weird
knew
stilted
isn't
thing because
real.
it was all set up
She's
from
not
the
woman I'm
beginning.
talking to right now. In a sense,
Rose isn't
the
even
deception
Rose.
was my own, not theirs.
Nobody knows who
Jack,
Rose
I
is.
thought I was acting because that was my job. But I did fall in love with you. That wasn't an act.
How can I
You
trust
expect me to
that?
believe that? It's
For
okay.
real.
You had your reasons, right? Hey, I understand.
So Raiden is
but I have
pissed.
nothing left to.
Jack,
What?
I'm carrying. I'm pregnant, Jack.
Rose, what's going on?
So the Metal Gear Solid 2 ending
How you walk around like that?
is one of the most
Snake.
talked about things in
waiting
games.
It's kind of amazing that I don't know about it. Also kept you waiting, huh?
Kept you waiting, huh? Snake, how did you get in here? Gesundheit.
Where's my gear?
Right over there.
What?
Good
How?
thing he managed to set that down without making any noise.
That's more like it. Everything you had when you were captured is still there.
So yeah, the way that nano communications work is essentially, it's a codec, but it's all, like, within a
Sorry about
second.
earlier. I had to use you as bait to gain access
Because
to
it's
Arsenal.
just data
Worked.
being
Why
transferred
didn't
from
you
node
tell
to
me about
node,
Olga?
nerd to nerd.
You never asked.
That's right.
Not happy about that?
You never
Get
asked.
over it.
Any effect
The
of
second
virus
time.
yet?
Still waiting on that.
So
Not a chance.
it was rigged by the
Jury's out
Patriots?
on that one.
Looks like it. From what I can tell, Arsenal is headed for Manhattan. I don't know what Solidus is planning, but we'll have to deal with it one way or another. There's also a troop of production model Rays ahead.
Oh?
How many units?
25, according to
Oh?
Oh?
5.
Yeah. Can't say I've faced that many Metal Gears before, but I think we can deal.
No way we can.
No?
We can, because we have no other choice.
How?
I've stocked up on Stinger missiles. Oh yeah.
Shut up!
Olga left this for you.
Yeah, we just blow it up. Fuck it, who cares? Hey,
Just do
hey,
it.
hey. You want a sword?
You want a fucking sword?
Hey.
This is where it begins.
This is where it begins. So,
Why? Olga asked me to give it to you. Besides, I'm not a big fan of blades.
Raiden in MGS4 and Revengeance makes no sense until you get to the ending of MGS2 when it's like, oh, that wasn't
Oh.
the character in the, that wasn't him at all. He was
Move
Jack the
right
Ripper
stick
from
up
the
and down
beginning.
to make a vertical slice, and left and right to slice parallel to the ground.
That's right, we're no longer using the face buttons.
Move the stick in a circle to do a rotating cut.
This is mini
Push it
Zandatsu.
forward to lunge and strike.
R3
You
is
can guard with your blade if you have the L1 button.
is
pressed
an
down.
instant kill.
You should be able to deflect a bullet or two.
And it's a high frequency electromagnetic blade. So yeah, blocking will deflect bullets, and we'll be using that quite a bit. Here's the first and most important thing. It has 2 modes. The second
Yeah.
mode is tranquilizer. Except if you stab, that's still a kill. So aside, it's just sharp mode and then blunt.
Sharp mode, and you... Oh! He changes his grip, and you beat them with the blunt end.
Yes.
That's really cool. I like that a lot.
So if you try and do it consecutively, like up, 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 it's slow like this. If you change your directions like 1 to 1, like up, down, left, right, it's much, much faster. Also, here's a move that I really like that I've only used like once. I'll show it when we get back out of this cutscene.
Come on, time to go. If you run out of ammo, you can have mine.
You got enough?
Absolutely. Infinite ammo.
Oh, I love it!
It's
Wait
so
up, Snake.
stupid.
Oh, I
What?
fucking love it!
So you know what that means? That means Meryl survived.
It's canon.
Snake, have you ever enjoyed killing someone?
What are you talking about?
I'm not sure. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between reality and a game.
Diminished sense of reality, huh? VR training will do that.
No.
Played too many
it was
video
field
games,
training
Raiden.
when I was a kid. I lied, Snake. I have more field experience than I can remember. It's not VR that's doing this to me.
Raiden, we don't carry guns to take people down. We're not here to help some politician either.
You can say that because you're a legend, a hero. I'm Jack the Ripper, a dirty reminder of a terrible mistake.
Legends don't mean a whole lot. I was just a name to exploit. Just like you.
People will remember only the good part, the right part of what you did.
There's no right part in murder. Not ever. And we're not in this to make a name for ourselves.
Then what are you and Otacon fighting for?
A future? You can stop being part of a mistake. Starting now.
What am I? What am I supposed to do?
If you're asking somebody else that question, you don't
Find
understand.
something to believe in, and find it for yourself. And when you do, pass it on to the future.
Believe in what?
That's your problem.
Straight up.
Come on.
I don't have all the answers. Stop bothering me.
Ask your mother.
Ask your parents before you go
Snake,
online.
Raiden.
Otacon, you alright?
Yeah, so are all the hostages.
That's good news.
How's everything on your end?
All right for now.
I mean,
But there is something.
it's weird.
What?
The Colonel's last transmission was strange.
I'll say.
The last, like, fucking
Just
12
strange.
transmissions.
No idea.
Interference?
I don't know.
Where is this colonel?
I don't know. I've never met the man, actually.
I'll dig around.
Thanks. I owe you one.
If there's anything else, call me on the codec. I might be able to help. The frequency is 141.12.
Thanks, Otacon. Oh, I love this game so much.
How have I never heard of any of this? How has this never been spoiled to me before?
There is so much more. There is so much more. Alright, so this is the part where they
Here's
just...
your forced combat.
Here's forced combat, and here's, like, spamming a bunch of Tengu in here. These guys are different. As you'll see, they are, like, way more agile, and also a lot of them do have swords. Snake will just run around and fucking murder everybody, though, which is good for us. Luckily, his kills don't, like, count towards our point. But if you don't know about the way in which they you know, if you don't know about the way in which that they give you, like, the ability to also cool guy sword put away animation.
Takes a long time.
It does. If you don't know about the fact that you can do the alternate mode to have a non-lethal sword, by Snake, you can just end this sequence with like 40 kills and completely mess up your run. Because the game does not tell you, like when you're having that little training session, it mentions nothing about the alternate mode. But yeah, this is the cool moment where you and Snake just get to go ham on fucking everybody. And it's not like free, you know, it's not a gimme. It's still pretty rough, but
there's a challenge, I can see it.
Also, because the Tengu are kind of on your level with moving around and agility,
and deflecting bullets.
Your ability to kind of, you know, kick around and do your cartwheel is way more effective on these guys than it is on the rest of the guards in the game. Snake just kicked us that time. There's a lot of dudes in here also. We're bleeding too, so. This is absolutely meant to be like a drain on your resources too.
An inverse boss fight.
Yeah, because once you get to 2, specifically 2 rations, he gives you another one, and that's a very important. It's a very important number, because you'll see it again. We done?
That's a lot of blood.
Yes.
That's a lot of blood for a Metal Gear game.
It really, really is.
Raiden, about this colonel of yours.
Yeah, please tell me.
Where?
He's
Inside
in Arsenal
Arsenal.
Gear. Yes! What? I called it!
I've checked out
The
all
calls are coming
possibilities,
from
but I keep
inside
coming
the
back to
Metal Gear.
Arsenal. It
That's
isn't
right.
a relay point, it's the origin of the signal. And the encryption protocol it uses is exactly the same as that of Arsenal's AI, the so-called GW.
Fuck,
What
what?
the hell does this mean?
I think it means you've been talking to an AI.
That's impossible.
The kernel probably isn't GW per se. GW was most likely stimulating cortical activity in the dormant part of your brain through signal manipulation of your own nanomachine.
You're just
The
hallucinating.
kernel is, in part, your own creation, cobbled together from expectations and experience.
That's crazy.
But it's probably the truth. The virus may be starting to affect GW, which would explain the kernel's behavior.
It was all an illusion? Everything I've done so far?
Raiden.
Snake.
So,
What's happening around here?
so
I don't
kid
know.
who played Metal
What I
Gear
do know
Solid
is that
1,
you're standing right
you
here
think
in front of
Snake's
me.
cool?
Not an
You want to be
illusion,
just like Snake?
Flesh and blood.
You want to be just like
your
Snake.
call.
You want to
You
talk
can
to the
drop us
Colonel
if you
and
want.
stop the Metal
No,
Gear and save the girl?
Do that.
Well, here you
Let's
fucking go. Now you're a hero. Doesn't it feel so cool?
It's such a fucking middle finger. I love it.
Doesn't it feel so cool to be in the middle of this harsh situation where everybody's lying to you and you're
Right.
like constantly on the
They've got
verge of
Rose.
death?
What?
Rose is being held in the holds.
It's a trap.
Rose!
Raiden, get a grip.
But Snake.
It's a trap. Since the Colonel doesn't exist, there's no way he can take Rose hostage.
Yeah, you're right.
I am right.
That's not true.
Okay. Does Rose exist?
Don't be weird.
Maybe.
No, we
She's
talked
your-
about this.
What if I've never really met her?
What?
If the
You
Colonel
haven't.
is something that I partly dreamt up, then everything I remember about her could be...
Don't
Maybe.
jump to conclusions.
You and Otacon are the ones that say the Colonel never existed.
What if
Right?
you're the
Is this Olga
nanomachines?
was talking about?
One more thing that I want to talk about before we get into this next section. One of the reasons why the just while we're talking about Olga in general, or cool sword put away, the Ames grabbed our crotch when he first met us, right? And he was
'Cause
like,
he thought you were a woman.
he thought we were a woman. He thought we were Olga. Because when you kind of think about it, yeah, our hair.
Like if you unfocus your eyes a bit.
Yeah, we're kind of our hair is a little bit longer and we've got pecs, but aside from that, pretty much like Olga.
I mean, the suit had me fooled. I'll be honest.
Because it's
Olga
like,
in the suit totally had me fooled.
right? Olga is a fucking badass. I personally like Olga way, way more than I ever liked Frank Yeager. But Frank Yeager is also really cool, so that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, big combat arena this time.
More forced combat. Here we go.
This one goes on for quite a while.
The last one did too.
This is the kind of thing that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, though, which is like every single Metal Gear Solid game is supposed to be the last one because he didn't want to make a sequel. And like the fans constantly clamoring for, I want more war game, I want to be just like Solid Snake, I want to fight and kill the terrorists and shoot the gun, is what inspired this game to be what it is, which is just one long reconstruction and deconstruction of Metal Gear Solid 1 from top to bottom. Like from the characters that exist to their motivations to the ways that the characters interact with each other and you. And here, because we don't have a Psycho Mantis, you start getting Psycho Mantis in the form of Arsenal at the very end.
Dude, the whole game is Psycho Mantis when you think about it.
It is. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I really like, well, you know for a fact that I absolutely love and adore Neon Genesis Evangelion. Metal Gear Solid 2, for me, is the best video game adaptation that Evangelion ever got. Right. Turn off the game console right now. Mission is a failure.
No, the fission is a failure.
That's true. Fucking, this game is so good. Snake can mostly clean up here, also. Like,
I gather.
you can help him, obviously, and do your part, but Snake can kinda take care of it himself. I also really like, this is where, it doesn't come across quite as well when you're not playing it, but you can easily see the beginning of the Zandatsu system here, because not only are you using the analog stick to control it, but your put-away animation is the put-away animation when you do it in Revengeance at the end of the mission.
Yeah?
In fact, excuse me for
there
one
you are.
moment. Enjoy this. I'll be right back.
Fortune.
It's been a long wait, Solid Snake. The root of all my sorrows.
What?
2 years ago, you killed my father. That was the beginning of hell for us. Everyone I love has been taken from me one by one, and no matter how hard I try, I can't follow them. An endless nightmare. The only thing we live for is to see it end. Our wait is almost over.
You can't be serious about firing the nuke.
Since no one can kill me, I may as well kill everyone I can.
I appreciate that logic.
Damn! Looks like I'm today's pick. You want ahead. You want eternal rest? I've got it right here.
What are you gonna do? Bullets can't get near her.
I'll think of something. There's no such thing as a witch.
You think you can kill me?
I don't know.
That probably
what your
doesn't
group's been
translate
through,
super well.
But let's get one thing
No,
clear.
probably not.
I didn't kill your father.
Also, sorry, I had to pick up a parcel from outside my front door.
Anyone believes your lies?
Raiden, get out of here.
Why don't
Fortune
you do
is so
it?
fucking cool.
Fortune is awesome. Cause how? Also, pay attention here. Because how?
How?
What? There's no ladder.
Jack, I've been
This
watching
is
how you
some
fight.
bullshit.
It looks like you've remembered the way you used to kill in the old days. Or is it one of the S3 plan's proud achievements?
What are you talking about?
It came as a complete surprise when Ocelot discovered the S3 data from GW. Not a bad idea, though. Using fire to fight fire, creating the perfect assassin to retire Solid Snake's brother. S3 stands for Solid Snake Simulation. It's a development program to artificially reproduce Solid Snake, the perfect warrior. The result is a Foxhound Commando. When Foxhound no longer exists, a simulated Solid Snake shaped by VR regimen. Sound like someone you know, Jack? I'm sorry to see you reduced to one of the Patriots' puppets. But I've made use of you, and their plan too. Solid Snake's sudden appearance, your arrival. It was obvious the Patriots were among my ranks. I had to smoke out the agent before the mission entered the final phase. You came in handy, as bait. Jack, those days during the Civil War were as real as they come. Every day was absolute. Split between life and death. You ran from it, and now you've been led back to war by something less than real.
Ah, you!
No more games, Jack. At least you know. There's no reason to keep you alive now.
Oh, fucking come on!
Oh shit.
Given you a worthy opponent, at least. But now, you should die as the little Jackie boy I once knew.
I've heard of this.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a really good fight.
just a fucking kaiju.
Also, that's one of the Yoji Shinkawa poses that Raiden just did there. Let's see. Stinger.
Get that stinger.
So, what you want to do is you want to hit their knee and then immediately hit their head after. And essentially just avoid their attacks until such time as you've won. It's also worth pointing out...
Don't get hit.
It's also worth pointing out that the number of rays that you fight depends on your difficulty. You want to take a stab at how many you fight in European Extreme? All
25.
Of them. I think it's... I don't think it's exactly 25, and you'll see why in a couple of minutes here, but pretty much, it is at least 20. There is a... This is not too bad. There's a very definite rhythm to it.
Yeah, it seems doable.
But also, here comes more.
But wait, there's more.
Oh boy. And hey, more of the stuff that you see happen in Revengeance also starts here. A lot of their animations are the same.
Yeah?
Like, the way that they start attacking with the guns, the damage animation from when you hit them is the same. Cool. It's cool stuff.
It's just callbacks all day, every day.
And here's the thing, right? You mentioned at the beginning that you thought Rex was cooler. And Rex is cooler, and the game agrees with you. Which is why fighting one Rex is, like, as much as fighting 9 to 20 Rays.
Yeah?
Because they're also mass-produced.
They are mass-produced and shitty. And Rex was one of a kind.
Yes. Rex was a prototype, but even as a prototype, it was, like, substantially more powerful than what came after it. More armor. Oh! I will say the first time that I beat this game was on the Vita, and I don't know how I did that, because controlling MGS2 on the Vita is kind of a nightmare. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is the HD collection on the Vita changes it so that your... I'm using the triggers right now to switch between the weapons and the sub-items. And on the Vita, they change it so that the triggers don't work. And instead, you tap the back of the Vita, and it's a motion input, which is awful. Absolutely terrible. Because there are no, like, buttons on the back. It's just where a button ought to be.
It's like, sense. Come on, it's not a fucking smartphone.
Yes. And it's like, the touchpad is cool, it does work, and it works well, but I would have preferred a button. Especially considering, like, the way that I hold the Vita is, my hand is constantly resting on where those buttons are, so it's like, always either pausing or unpausing or taking the BDU off, and it's like, Jesus.
The problem that you're describing to me right now is the reason why I didn't want to switch to an iPhone for so long.
Yes.
I'm like, no, I like my clunky, shitty cell phone keyboard. Let me keep it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I wish they still made those. I hate touchscreens.
Oh, they do. They just don't make them in America.
Fuck.
Smartphones that are also, like, flip phones are very, very, very popular in Japan. And you can do some bullshit to kind of, get one and, like, get put a SIM card in one, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
And it's also a lot of money to do that. It's a lot of money to, like, import some of those
on a piece of tech that probably won't last that long.
and a piece of tech that a lot of people would consider like obsolete. So it's like, hey, this might not get the best support going forward. Which sucks because, yeah, I totally agree. I prefer like haptic feedback and buttons way more than touch controls. Yeah, so there are 3 damage states that you can do. One of them is to hit them while they're at like their neutral animation, which, as you can see, takes off less damage. The other one is to get them on their knee and then hit them, which takes a little bit more damage. And then that third one, which we saw briefly, where we like shot one as it opened its mouth in the background, I believe is where it takes the most? Or no, that's backwards. That's their second most damage, I think. But there are 3 different damage states.
You would probably be doing more consistent damage if you didn't go for the combo shot. Because
The
that seems to just result in you taking a hit.
The combo shot is actually the one that you want to go to, because the combo shot stops their attacks. I'm just not paying close enough attention to the other rays in the background. But if you notice, yeah, it knocks them out of whatever they're doing. And it's also a guaranteed opening.
Right.
I'm just not doing a very good job. But give me back that armor. Need that. I need that. Some players don't need that. I need that. Yeah, we have to fully defeat at least one more of these.
Oh, do they not just stop showing up? Like no matter how many you kill up until the end of the fight, you're always going to be fighting 3 at a time?
So you're always going to be fighting 2 to 3 at a time. You're never going to fight one.
There you go.
But at the same time, there is a set number.
You do have to kill a certain number.
Yes.
Yeah, I got you.
I believe on very easy, it's 3, and I think on normal, it's 9. And then extreme is 20.
It's no use.
I expected a little more fight than that, Jack.
Hey! You really are Great Fox.
Oh, but don't do this! They'll know!
I'll hold them off. Give you time to get away.
What about you? This is suicide!
Your nanomachines, they're transmitting your vital signs to the Patriots. If you die, my child dies. You understand?
Oh.
The child.
I see.
The child.
So that's why you sold your troops out
The
to
baby.
me. So many dead, and they all died trusting you! Weren't they your comrades?
No, not just comrades. Family.
Huh?
I know I'm going to hell, but at least my child.
I applaud your attitude. If you have a death wish, I'll be happy to accommodate you. See you in hell!
Hey, you're not supposed to do that. Only Ocelot's supposed to do that.
Yeah?
Live! You have to.
Oh!
Oh, God.
Enjoy the show, Jack. Let's pick up where we left off. What's going on? What's wrong with it?
AI, GW, it's out of control.
What?
You couldn't have done that, like, earlier?
So, that also is one of the reasons why I think that Rose is intentional, is because each of these was being manned by GW. Like, along with the kernel AI, that same AI is what's infecting all of these, which is also why they can't attack you all at once. Because they don't have enough they don't have enough RAM.
I'm reading an abnormal impulse cascade throughout the neural network. I can't shut it down.
What happened?
Maybe some kind of virus.
The Patriots?
I don't know.
No, it's more like a worm cluster.
It's too late. Arsenal's system control is going haywire. It's on an emergency ascent course.
Stupid machines!
Controller is absolutely going insane.
Oh, I believe it.
In fact, enjoy this for one more moment. I'll be right back.
Damn the Patriots! You still have some use.
I've captured Snake.
Bring him in.
Okay, back to it.
Are you awake yet, Jack? GW, the Arsenal AI is corrupted beyond repair. I admit that I underestimated you. I'll squeeze the answers out of you instead, my son.
A lot harder than the last one.
What do you hope to hear? You know he doesn't know anything.
It's not him I want the answers from.
And if you use autofire, I'll know.
What do you mean?
That's not your business.
Oh, really? It so happens I have some business of my own to attend to.
Planning to hijack Arsenal?
I love that Fortune has made it this far in the story.
You were over, weren't you?
Because it's like, who the fuck could possibly?
Not exactly.
Aside from the person who is like borderline immortal.
The idea to you in the first place.
What?
I was planning to give you Arsenal to begin with.
You can have it.
Why the uncharacteristic generosity?
Yeah, what's up with
I'm
that?
no philanthropist. Arsenal is far from impregnable. It needs other Metal Gears as guards, a huge payload
It's
of warheads,
really
and
impractical.
full air, sea, and land support to function efficiently. Against a large attack force without support, Arsenal is nothing more than a gigantic coffin. Seizing Arsenal
You
gear
need
was
so
never the
many
real
people to make
objective.
this thing run. It's just a big
What
box.
was your objective then?
Pretty much.
It's a
list
box
of names
that houses a
of the
supercomputer.
Patriots. They were planning to extend their control to digital information flow with GW and Arsenal. That means the information they want to filter out is contained in GW, including that list of the highest 12 members of the Patriots Wiseman's Committee.
Oh.
And once you knew who they were, you would cross out their names one by one, while we, with our useless arsenal, drew their fire.
Very good.
You were using us all along.
Were you any different?
But your plans hit a snag with GW destroyed, hasn't it?
No, there is another way.
Really? But we have our own plans to carry out. We'll take the arsenal since you don't care for it anyway.
There's your
the
shot.
purified hydrogen bomb is ready to
There
go.
it is.
A nuclear strike won't stop them.
It will damage their power source. The mindless masses that they control. First things first.
Of course. That was what you wanted. I won't stop you. Good luck.
Thanks, but I have quite enough of that.
Evidently.
Too much, maybe.
What exactly do you find so funny?
Charades usually are humorous. I wouldn't have minded watching some more of it, but we're running a little short on time.
What are you talking about?
Everything you've done here has been scripted. A little exercise set up by us.
I tricked everyone. It's sort of my thing.
The S3 plan was conceived as a means to produce soldiers on par with Solid Snake. That's what I told you. But the VR training the boy was put through is not the meat of the project. You think this little terrorist incident is your own doing, Solidus? This is the S3 training kernel. An orchestrated recreation of Shadow Moses.
What?
It's literally a remake.
Yes.
Ames and the president's deaths. The ninja.
It was all a little too fucking convenient, wasn't
virus
it?
that mimics Fox Die. Did you really think they were all a coincidence?
I also believe that Ames and the president are voiced by, like, their MGS1 actors as well. Which is not something that translates to
I
MGS2.
arranged for the appearance of the ninja as well. As for the president, although Johnson realized what was going on, he played out his allotted part. As for the computer virus, it's a digital counterpart of Fox Die. It was also designed to eliminate every scrap of information regarding the Patriots from GW. Your plan was invalidated even before execution, Solidus. Fat Man was a different story. He's one of our own people, a sort of examiner we hired to test the boy's progress before letting him tackle the exercise proper. We had to arrange for Stillman's presence to coax the maniac into agreeing.
I fucking love that.
If the boy had allowed the big shell to be destroyed, this exercise would have ended there. The project has no room for failures.
What do you mean?
Given the right situation, the right story, anyone can be shaped into Snake. Even rookies can fight like men of experience. An instant creation of genius. And this training kernel would provide more than enough data to formulate such a program. You, Dead Cell, Olga, You're all nothing but pawns placed to create the perfect simulation. Solidus.
It's a big, stupid video game.
And of course the AI kernel is literally an AI kernel.
Yeah.
That's such a stupid fucking... Like, come on. That's such a dumb pun, but it's so good.
You're the most impressive collection of freaks outside of Foxhound.
Yeah, also, Raiden was supposedly a member of Foxhound, even though we know Foxhound was disbanded.
Purified hydrogen bombs is just the tip of the iceberg. The project was already underway when I sunk that tanker, along with your old man 2 years ago. Throwing your husband in the brig was a part of it too. You were told that the eradication of Dead Cell 6 months ago was an act of the Patriots. We provoked and encouraged your hatred. And you opted for vengeance, just as we planned.
All orchestrated?
Except for the appearance of the real Solid Snake.
He was never factored into the situation.
He was not a part of the simulation.
All our misfortune was
He is an unknown factor.
just a part of their project?
Ooh.
How could...
Yeah, how though?
Lady Luck, you have nothing that we didn't give you.
We faked it!
Faked it!
Nanomachines! It was the Patriots! Literally. Okay, so this is where it all begins.
Do you know why no bullet could hit you?
Yeah, why?
It wasn't
Guns of the
magic
Patriots.
or some new age mumbo jumbo. Certainly wasn't your psychic talents. It was all staged by the Patriots.
It was all staged for the
Staged?
The Patriots.
You were being shielded by the electromagnetic weapons technology that the Patriots developed. Your Dead Cell comrades loved your father and husband. We needed a pathetic wretch like you to keep them focused.
You were so into your own drama.
You've been our puppet all along, just like Olga.
You never even questioned it.
No.
You were hamming it up as the tragic heroine, thanks to the script that the Patriots wrote for you.
So good.
Pure self-indulgence, absorbed in your own misfortune. You couldn't get enough of the drama.
I could have died whenever I wanted to.
So then how the fuck do you explain Vamp?
Thought I got her
That's a
in the
good
heart.
question. You'll have to wait 2 games to hear more about Vamp.
It missed.
The magnets of the Patriots.
Your heart's on the right. Waste of metal magia, but your luck's run out. This is the little gizmo. There's no such thing as miracles or the supernatural. Only cutting-edge technology.
Explain Vamp then, motherfucker!
God, Ocelot is so good. Oh, it's so dumb.
Ocelot is so good, but also really love Solidus.
Solidus is pretty good too. That's the thing, right? Is like, as much as Armstrong was a senator and that was hilarious, Solidus was literally the president.
Yeah.
Just try.
But the thing about that is, like, Solidus is Solidus before, after he was the president. But while Armstrong is the senator, he's being the senator, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like
there is a political angle to what he does. He's still playing the game.
Totally, he's
Solidus
on the
is
campaign
like, fuck
trail.
this. He's out of the game.
Solidus is like, I have more important things to do than be the fucking president.
Straight up.
Fortune! You idiot! Get the hell away from there!
I told you, your luck's run out.
Fortune, you don't have powers.
Your reward.
Do not have powers.
This is a really bad idea.
There's no such thing as magic. Die. Also, don't think about Psychomantis too much.
Fortune, you don't have powers. Get the fuck. Everybody down. You fucking idiot. Get out. Oh, what? Totally has powers.
No, what the fuck?
That doesn't make any sense. Fortune is so cool.
She is Lady Luck.
Okay, but explain that shit.
My name is Helene
No.
Dolph
Okay.
Jackson. The daughter of a proud and noble soldier. I can see my family again.
Bye, Fortune. You are really cool.
Pretty much everyone in this game is really cool.
No. Even Raiden.
Even Raiden, even though he sucks, he's also cool. He's totally lame, but also super cool.
Oh, you didn't forget about this shit, did you?
No! No, not Brothers!
Oh my god.
Liquid!
Oh my god.
Liquid.
I've been waiting for this! It can't be.
It's so stupid. I
I've been
love it.
inside this arm all
So
along,
dumb.
waiting for the right time to awaken.
I've been waiting inside this arm.
You were
It
inside
was me!
Ocelot.
I was the arm
Yes, a
all
sleeper in the arm
along!
of a Patriot spy.
It was
Me!
you 2 years ago?
Exactly. I was controlling
I was
him.
wondering what that arm was doing there.
I was wondering what that turkey was
Snake,
doing
it
there.
was I that leaked information about Arsenal to your partner and got you out here.
It was
And, like,
liquid.
You're the only one that
We
can
knew
defend
about
me,
this,
after
but
all.
nobody knew about this.
We didn't know.
Nobody in the plot knew about this.
No.
Bury the
Until
Patriots for
literally
good.
just now.
You know where they are? How?
Well, it did happen on the tanker.
Why do you think I chose Ocelot as my
No,
host?
we knew about it. Wait, did...
Before I go, I
Yeah,
have a
Snake was
family
there.
matter to settle
Yeah,
with
Snake
both.
was there. And
Yeah.
then everyone else
There's only
died.
one Snake and one big boss.
Fucking love this game.
Time to say goodbye.
Okay, well, what are we gonna do about this?
I love how Raiden just doesn't matter. And hasn't mattered for like the last 10 minutes.
He hasn't said anything.
Straight up. Yeah.
He's strong enough to break fucking handcuffs.
He can literally break these cuffs.
Hey, Snake, you coming?
I love Liquid's personality. Well, he's fine because he didn't say it 3 times.
That's right. It's like fucking opposite Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
If you say it 3 times, then he disappears.
Hey, here's a bunch of cut content. We'll get into this.
Oh boy.
This game originally came out just around the time of September 11th. And so the entire sequence of Arsenal gear literally crashing into Manhattan had to be removed from the game, which means that we kind of don't get an explanation for how a lot of the characters end up the way that they are here. That is very important information to understand as we go forward.
Yeah?
This is all you get.
Maybe we'll see the Gentech building.
Maybe.
Oh, here we go.
Oh boy.
Wow, yeah, straight up.
Couldn't show this, huh? You could, like, it is completely understandable as to why this was not allowed. Like, oh, we need to fucking fix this.
But also, that's an important bit of context.
It really, really is. But when this game came out, this, surrounded by everything else that just happened for the last hour and a half, of course, it didn't make any sense, but neither did anything else.
April 30th?
That's right.
It's the day we met, Jack. Don't you remember watching King Kong in our apartment?
President of the United States of America 200 years ago today. And it happened right here. We were going to declare another independence. The dawn of a new nation here. The end of the Patriots' secret rule. Liberation of this country. This was where it was supposed to begin. This is where freedom could have been born.
All you want is power at any cost.
Jack, it's not power I want. What I wanted to take back from the Patriots are things like freedom, civil rights, opportunities. The founding principles of this country. Everything that's about to be wiped out by their digital censorship. Jack, listen to me. We're all born with an expiration date. No one lasts forever. Life is nothing but a grace period for turning the best of our genetic material into the next generation. The data of life is transferred from parent to child. That's how it works.
Meme theory.
But we have no heirs, no legacy. We brothers are called les enfants terribles. Cloned from our father, with the ability to reproduce conveniently engineered out. What is our legacy if we cannot pass?
He is also pissed off, just like Liquid was.
Our existence, a mark of some sort.
Although in a different way.
When the torch is passed on from parent to child, it extends beyond DNA. Information is imparted as well.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
I
pretty
want
much.
is to be remembered by other people, by history. The Patriots are trying to protect their power, their own interests, by controlling the digital flow of information. I want my memory, my existence to remain. Unlike an intron of history, I will be remembered as an exon. That will be my legacy, my mark in history. But the Patriots would deny
Your
us
mark
even
in
that.
history is going to be crashing Arsenal gear into the middle of Manhattan, to be honest.
Nah, they
and
just
liberate
censored
us
it.
all, and we will become
Yeah?
the Sons of Liberty.
Yeah?
Yeah?
But hold on.
Hold on, gotta take this.
Excuse me for a moment. Yo, what's up? What's good?
Raiden, are you receiving?
Oh,
We're
fuck.
still here.
How's that possible? The AI was destroyed.
Only GW.
Who are you?
To begin with, we're not what you'd call human.
You look lost.
There's that
For the
shot.
past 200 years, a kind of consciousness formed layer by layer in the crucible of the White House. It's not unlike the way life started in the oceans 4 billion years
Oh, this sounds like some
The
bullshit.
White House was our primordial soup,
Yeah.
a
This
basic
codec lasts
evolution.
over 10 minutes, I believe.
Are formless. We are the very discipline and
Holy
morality
shit.
that Americans invoke so often.
This is the only
How can anyone
time
hope to
in all of
eliminate
Metal
us?
Gear that you get
As
to
long as
face
this
to face
nation
with the
exists,
Patriots,
so will
basically.
we.
Cut the crap. If you're immortal, why would you take away individual freedoms and censor the net?
Oh, I didn't intend for this game to be quite as,
Don't be silly.
like, topical
Don't
as it
you know
is.
that our plans have your interest,
But it
not
is.
ours in mind.
What?
Jack, listen carefully, like a good boy.
The mapping of the human genome was completed early this century. As a result, the evolutionary log of the human race lay open to us.
We started with genetic engineering, and in the end, we succeeded in digitizing life itself.
But there are things not covered by genetic information.
What do you mean?
Human memories, ideas, culture, history.
Gotta get rid of all that
Genes don't
shit.
contain any record of human history.
Is it something that should not be passed on? Should that information be left at the mercy of nature?
We've always kept records of our lives, through words, pictures, symbols, from tablets to books.
But not all the information was inherited by later generations. A small percentage of the whole was selected and processed, then passed on. Not unlike genes. Really.
So what if we just controlled it all?
But in the current digitized world, trivial information is accumulated.
Trivial
every
information is
second,
accumulated every second,
triteness,
preserved in all its
never
triteness,
fading,
never fading, always
always
accessible.
Rumors about petty
Fuck!
issues,
Yeah!
misinterpretations.
Yeah!
All this junk data, preserved in an unfiltered state,
Growing at an alarming rate.
It will only slow down social progress.
Reduce the rate of evolution.
Right. You seem to think that our plan is one of censorship.
It's not.
Are you telling me it's not?
You're being silly. What we propose to do is not to control content,
But to create context. Oh, fuck this game.
Digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths.
2001?
Juxtapositions of morality around you.
Billions spent on new weapons in order to humanely murder other humans.
Rights of criminals are given more respect than the privacy of their victims.
Yep.
Although there are people suffering in poverty, huge donations are made to protect endangered species. Everyone grows up being told the same thing.
Be nice to other people.
But beat out the competition.
Yep.
You're special. Believe in yourself and you will succeed.
But it's obvious from the start that only a few can succeed.
You exercise your right to freedom, and this is the result.
Obviously, freedom is the problem.
And protect each other from hurt. The untested truths, spun by different interests, continue to churn and accumulate in the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
For fuck's sake.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community, afraid of a larger forum. They
2001.
little ponds, leaking whatever
The
truth
public
suits them
opinion
into the
on Metal
growing
Gear Solid
cesspool of
2
society at
has
large.
changed over the years. People like this game a lot more now. It is very much vindicated by the passing of
Not
time.
even natural selection can take place here.
People did
The
not
world
like
is
this
being
game when it
engulfed
came
in
out.
truth.
And this is the way the world ends. Not with a bang.
Not with a bang, but with a whimper.
We're trying to stop that from happening.
It's our responsibility as rulers.
Rulers!
Just as in genetics, unnecessary information and memory must be filtered out to stimulate the evolution of the species.
And you think you're qualified to decide what's necessary and not?
Absolutely. Who else could wade through the sea of garbage you people produce, retrieve valuable truths, and even interpret their meaning for later generations?
That's what it means to create context.
I'll decide for myself what to believe and what to pass on.
You've kind of failed to do that from the beginning,
Or
though.
something Snake told you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It was Snake's idea.
Your incompetence right there. You lack the qualifications to exercise free will.
That's not true. I have the right.
Does something like a self exist inside of you?
That which you call self serves as nothing more.
You're
than
not even a
mask to
character,
cover your
Raiden.
own being.
Who are you?
In this
Straight
era
up.
of ready-made truths, self is just something used to preserve
Even if
those
you weren't
positive
just a
emotions
video
that you
game
occasionally
character,
feel.
who are
Another
you?
possibility is that self is a concept you conveniently borrowed under the logic that would endow you with some sense of strength.
That's crap.
Is it? Would you prefer that someone else tell you? All right then. Explain it to him.
Jack, you're simply the best. And you got there all by yourself.
Oh, these two are so good.
Oh, what happened? Do you feel lost? Why not try a bit of soul searching?
Don't think you'll find anything, though.
Ironic that although self is something that you yourself fashioned, every time something goes wrong, you turn around and place the blame on something else.
It's
Yeah,
not
Raiden,
my
what the
fault.
fuck?
It's not your fault.
In denial.
That's
You
right,
simply resort to
11-year-old
looking
playing
for
Metal
another,
Gear Solid
more
2.
convenient truth
Fuck you.
In order to make yourself feel better.
Leaving behind in an instant the so-called truth you once embraced.
Should someone like that...
You're just being told what to do the entire game via codec. You didn't fucking...
And
you
apparently
have
you're a
the right
huge
to
fucking
decide?
hypocrite.
You've
That's
done
right.
nothing but abuse your freedom.
You don't deserve to be free.
We're not the ones smothering the world. You are.
The individual
So
is
not
supposed to
only
be weak,
did
but
the
far from
Colonel
powerless.
not like
A
Raiden
single
from the
person has
beginning,
potential to
the
rule
Colonel
the world.
fucking hates
And the age of
Raiden.
digitized communication has
He
given
hates
even more
everything
power
that
to the
Raiden
individual.
represents.
Too much power for an immature species.
Building a legacy involves figuring out what is wanted and what needs to be done for that goal. All this you used to struggle with. Now we think for you.
Isn't this easier?
We are your guardians, after all.
You want to control human thought, human behavior?
Of course.
Duh.
Anything can
Wouldn't
be
you, if you
quantified
could?
Nowadays. That's what this
Live in
exercise
ignorance
was
and
designed
purchase your
to prove.
happiness.
You fell in love with me just as you were meant to, after all. Isn't that right, Jack?
Don't you worry, you'll be
Ocelot
told
was
exactly
told
what to
the whole
do.
Truth, to say the least.
We rule an entire
give
nation.
my people the lives
Of what
they need.
interest would a
The
single
righteous will
soldier,
succeed,
no matter
yeah.
how able, be
Absolutely.
to us?
The S3 plan does not stand for solid snake simulation. What it does stand for is
Selection for societal sanity. Holy shit!
The S3 is a system for controlling.
Also,
your
hi,
will and
MGS1.
consciousness.
Game over, motherfucker.
S3 is not you, a soldier trained in the image of Solid Snake.
This was never about you, Raiden.
Never.
It is a method, a protocol that created a circumstance that made you what you are.
So you see, we're the S3, not you.
What you experienced was the final test of its effectiveness.
That's crazy.
The AI
heard what
Colonel
President
is
Johnson
the
said.
best Metal Gear
Arsenal's
villain,
GW system is the key to their supremacy.
in my
The
opinion.
objective of this exercise was to establish such a method.
With a capital K.
We used Shadow Moses as a paradigm for the exercise.
I wonder if you would have preferred a fantasy setting.
It could have been anything.
Now he's just ripping on the audience.
Because of its extreme circumstances.
No, this whole game is ripping on the audience, for sure.
Capacity. If the model could trigger, control, and solve this, it would be ready for any contingency. And now, we have our proof.
You feel like a hero yet? Asks Spec Ops. Fine, you guys want me to make a Metal Gear so bad? Here you go, here's a fucking Metal Gear. Don't choke on your way out.
Raised plenty of other child solgers.
Don't let the door choke you on the way out.
That's right, if the door catches you, you'll just go
You
You have to mash the triangle button.
All the others remember what they were.
Turn to the
and
left.
Pay for it daily.
But you turn your back on everything you don't like. You do whatever you
Oh,
like.
you don't like
See
this game,
only
huh?
The things you like, and for yourself alone.
What, you don't like that we pulled a fast one on you?
You refused to see me for what I was. I lied to you, but I wanted to be caught. You pretended to be understanding, to be a gentleman. You never made a conscious attempt to reach out to me. The only time you did was when I gave you no choice but to do so.
I was just trying not to...
What? Trying not to hurt me? Dear, the one you were trying not to hurt was yourself. Avoiding the truth under the guise of kindness is all that you did. It occurred to you to do nothing but look out
This is
for
like
yourself.
nothing but a
Even if you
12-minute
claimed it was for
long,
my sake,
like,
that
motive
feeling was
rant
nowhere to be
about how
seen.
much
In
Raiden
the
sucks,
end,
and about how much
everything
the
was for
player
you.
sucks.
I was never part of the picture.
Exactly right. So you see, you're a perfect representative of the masses we need to protect. This is why we
Protect.
You accepted the fiction we've provided, obeyed our orders, and did everything you were told to. The exercise is a resounding success.
Didn't I tell you that GW is still incomplete? But not anymore, thanks to you.
Emma?
Your persona, experiences, triumphs, and defeats are nothing but
Remember,
byproducts.
the AI
The
is
real
just
objective
like
was ensuring that we
an
could
echo
generate
of
and
Raiden's
manipulate them.
experiences and
It's taken a lot of
expectations.
time and money, but it was well worth it considering the results. I think that's enough talk. It's time for the final exercise.
Yeah, I've been talking
Right.
for a bit here.
Take Solidus
That's right.
down.
Think again. I'm through doing what I'm told.
Are you, though?
Aren't you forgetting something?
What choice do you have, Raiden?
My child dies.
The termination of vital signals from your nanomachines means the death of Olga's child. Not to mention the death of Rose. She's wired the same way.
Oh, shit.
Rose, does she actually exist?
Of course I do, Jack. You have to believe me.
Damn!
It will be a fight to the death.
Solidus at least wants
Oh,
to
that's
be
a good
dead.
shot.
We will collect the necessary data from this last
Oh,
fight.
man.
Then we'll
Yeah,
consider
no,
the
fuck it. It's
exercise
going all
closed.
off the rails.
So, Jack the Ripper, will it be Solidus, the Patriot's creation, or you, Solidus's creation? Our beloved monsters, enjoy yourselves.
That's a good line. That's my favorite line in this whole game.
My son. My clone brothers and I are called monsters, replicates of evil genes. You are one of a kind, but still a monster, shaped by a dark and secret history. We need to decide which monstrosity will have the privilege of survival. By the way, Jack, I was the one who killed your parents.
What? Why?
Nani?
That's going a bit too
I
far!
raised you as a soldier in the army of the devil. I am your foster father and your worst enemy.
Why?
Because I needed to know whether we were really someone else's creation.
In case the audience didn't care
We
about all that
repeated
AI
history,
shit.
Jack.
We had to
Liquid
throw
and
this
Solid
into...
hunted down Big Boss, trying to sever the tie that bound them to him. Unless you kill me and face your past, Jack, you will never escape. You'll stay in the endless loop, your own double helix.
I don't know about that.
It's time we were both free. I have other reasons for wanting you dead.
What? What could you possibly... Why?
The clues to the Patriots inside GW have been erased, but there are other traces. Inside you.
Oh.
The information is being carried by the nanomachines in your cerebral cortex, and throughout the neural network they've formed.
That's true.
Yeah.
You are only 13% Goku, but these parameters are acceptable.
There's your birds.
Your John
Mans.
Woo. Yeah.
I've been watching this and I've been thinking to myself, man, Solidus kind of has a point.
He
but
does.
also the Patriots kind of have a point.
I mean, everybody has a point, but the problem is that everybody has a point, and then they just go way too... You're going a bit too far!
Yeah?
So this fight is pretty much what it appears to be. It is a one-on-one sword fight, and more than anything, it's about positioning. Oof. It's actually pretty tough. And he's got a bunch of...
Oh, that's cool. He's got moves.
He does. He has way more moves than you do. Yeah. You get the 3 combo on him. He takes damage pretty well. This fight is a lot more even than the fight with Liquid was, but it's also very similar. Is also the fight that I tend to have the most trouble with every time that I play the game. So, hey, hopefully we won't be here a while, but we also might be. It's also a multiple face fight.
Of course, this can't be the whole fight.
No. Like I said, more than anything, it's about positioning. If you can interrupt his attacks, you're usually pretty good. Other than that, he has some command grabs. He has these projectiles, and he has that launch. That launch is probably the best way to, like, routinely get him where you can hit him. But
man,
yeah.
You said command grab, and I thought to myself, man, I'd play as Solidus in a fighting game.
Yes, I would as well. I would love a Metal Gear fighting game, and I don't like fighting games. Phase 2.
Good work, Jack. But this is where it gets interesting.
No longer Dr. Octopus. Now simply President.
Let's go.
And he can do that 3 times now. And more.
Right.
And he can box you in.
Solidus, this is your last duty.
We're not just pawns in some simulation game, you know.
Yes, you are.
I'm glad that we got that shot of Raiden also.
Weapons. No different from
Yeah.
fighter jets or tanks.
What the?
The old model destroyed 4 years ago was Rex.
The new amphibious model is Ray.
Both of these are the same as the code names used by the U.S. Armed Forces to refer to Japanese warplanes during World War II.
It's the most Kojima conversation ever.
Comes from the Japanese Navy's name for one of its interceptors.
Stop it. I'm not a weapon.
Oh, really? Do you know the code name the U.S. Armed
This is so fucking funny to me.
Fighter Raiden?
It was Jack.
Ah! Got you, gamer!
On the battlefield. Just pawns in a game. Exactly.
It's so silly.
And a weapon has
And it's so like, this would be really cool if they didn't mention it in the game.
It's time to fulfill your purpose.
But the fact that it, like, the fact that it interrupts your fight to be like, by the way, did you know about the code names for Japanese warplanes in World War II? It was your name! Ah!
Man, I like Solidus less now that they threw away, like, his Fox sound gimmick.
Oh, yeah?
Because I thought that was really cool.
It is really cool. I mean, at least he's still got the skates, though.
Yeah?
It's like they knew that Fat Man was my favorite. And they're like, well, let's bring him back a little bit.
What's wrong with you? He's still got the red carpet.
Ugh. Oof! Do we have any, No.
No, you're out. Don't fuck it up.
Try not to. But to be honest, oof.
Come on, just hit him once and he's dead.
I'm trying. It's a little rough. Yeah!
Okay,
Sorry.
it was twice, but whatever.
That was a little too close to the microphone. I'm sorry, viewers.
No, don't worry about it. You earned it.
Maybe we're both the same. In retrospect, I love how much of Senator Armstrong's fight is a reference to this fight.
Like, straight up.
Like, with the flames and the area denial and everything. Like, it's very, very... It's there. Also, the unenlightened masses, they cannot make the judgment call. Could have been... Like, collective consciousness could have been the theme of the Patriots easily.
Don't be sad, Solidus. It's just nature, running its course.
I also like that his cuffs are, of course, broken the moment he gets that sword back. Hey, pay fucking close attention to everything that happens in this scene, because there's a lot to go over.
Okay.
This is probably the most nonsensical part of this entire game.
That's saying a lot.
I know. I fucking know.
Who am I, really? No one quite knows who or what they are. The memories you have and the role you were assigned are burdens you had to carry. It doesn't matter if they were real or not. That's never the point. There's no such thing in the world as absolute reality. Most of what they call real is actually fiction. What you think you see is only as real as your brain tells you it is.
Straight up, chemicals.
What am I supposed to believe in? What am I going to leave behind when I'm through?
We can tell other people about having faith. What we had faith in. What we found important enough to fight for. It's not whether you were right or wrong, but how much faith you were willing to have. That decides the future. The Patriots are a kind of ongoing fiction too, come to think of it.
They are. They're the biggest fiction possible. They're a fiction that controls other fictions.
Words so much.
Yeah.
Find the meaning behind the words, then decide. You can find your own name and your own future.
Find the meaning behind the words,
myself?
then
Whatever you
decide.
choose will be you.
I don't know if I can.
I know you didn't have much in terms of choices this time. But everything you felt, thought about during this mission is yours. And what you decide to do with them is your choice.
You mean start over?
Yeah, a clean slate, a new name, new memories. Choose your own legacy. It's for you to decide. It's
You are who you choose to be. Now choose.
By the way, what is that?
Remember at the very beginning of the game, we had to input our birthday.
Dog tags.
Yeah,
Do you know anybody named Eva?
I do.
No, you don't.
It's our fusion form.
Anyone you know?
No, never heard the name before.
Straight up,
Pick
fuck
my own
you.
name and my own life.
That's right.
I'll find something worth passing on.
Also, nobody seems to be all that interested in these two armed men in the middle of, like, this going on.
They taught me some good things, too.
I know. We've inherited freedom from all those who fought for it. We all have the freedom to spread the word.
Raiden is no longer you, no longer me.
What about Olga's child?
Raiden is finally Raiden as his own character.
Yep.
As long as you keep yourself alive, he's safe.
I like how the body armor carries over into cutscenes.
Oh yes, I mean it did in MGS1 as well.
Yeah, but I have a feeling they gave Ocelot a bogus location to begin with. Cheer up, we have a better lead. This contains the list of all the Patriots.
Oh shit.
But Ocelot took it.
The one we gave you wasn't the real thing.
We didn't trust you, Raiden.
What?
This virus is coded to destroy only a specific part of GW, namely the information about the Patriot's identity.
That's really important.
Which means that there's a parameter coded in here that defines what that information is.
I get it. Analyze the code and you can probably find out where they operate. Count me in.
No, you have things to do first. And people you need to talk to.
Huh. Looking pretty spry for a computer.
Yeah.
Also, keep an eye on the lower left of the screen, I believe. In just a minute here, and you'll see something interesting.
Snake?
Well, now I'm afraid to look away.
It's the parrot!
What's wrong?
Yeah, it's the parrot.
There it is, lower left.
Nothing.
I don't see it. What was it?
You'll see it
Can I ask
again.
you something? Who am I, really?
Who am I, Rose?
No. But we're going to find out together.
You see him?
Oh.
No, I
That's-
missed it.
That's fucking Vamp! Vamp is hailing a cab!
I can't believe I missed
See me for
that.
what I am, okay?
Okay. So, yes. Rose does exist. But you and I knew this, because Rose is a character in Revengeance. But, like, the way that they go about showing it is very strange.
This place?
Of course. This is where we first met. I remember now. Today is the day I met you.
That's it.
I'm so fucking pissed that I didn't get to see Vamp hailing a cab.
It's alright,
I can't
well,
believe I missed it.
along
I'll
bring
have to
it-
watch it in
What?
post.
I'll bring it up here before we leave.
All living things want their genes to live on.
Are you talking about the baby?
Yeah. But genes aren't the only thing you pass on. There are too many things that aren't written into our DNA. It's up to us to teach that to our children.
What kind of things?
About the environment.
It's a very MGS1 ending conversation as well.
Yeah, you're not
what
wrong.
What kind of things?
That's a caribou.
Joy. We'll tell them everything together.
I would love for a caribou just to be walking down the middle of the street in Manhattan.
This is for your ears.
Yeah.
Only.
Ah, the player doesn't get to hear this. Because who the fuck is the player? The player doesn't matter.
Player is nobody. Player is fuck you, says Kojima.
The player is like in a pair of dog tags that he threw on the ground.
The player is an asshole. The customer is always wrong.
Fuck you for making me make this game that is good. Fuck you.
And fuck you for not liking it.
Exactly. Hey, that's Metal Gear Solid 2. Sons of Liberty. This is hold on, I'm gonna maybe drop the in-game audio here.
Gonna get claimed as shit.
Yeah, probably. Even though I use it at the beginning of all of the fucking videos on YouTube. So, okay. There is a lot of discussion about the ending to Metal Gear Solid 2, but specifically, like, also the end as far as, like, as soon as you beat Solidus, what exactly is happening? Because none of that makes any physical sense, right? Like, Snake, if you think about how Snake got there, Snake had to have been clinging onto the bottom of, like, Ray as it traveled under the water at such a velocity to then later get to Manhattan. So, like, even that part, whatever, that's anime, that doesn't make any sense. But then you get to the ending and you have all this stuff of, like, there's nobody on the street, and then Raiden turns around and suddenly everybody starts, like, shifting in slow motion, and fucking Vamp is hailing a cab, and it's like, what? Also, where did the dog tags come from? And here's the dumb thing, right?
Right.
So, because obviously the thing that people came away with was like, well, okay, was the whole game a simulation? Was the ending a simulation? Did that happen? And here's the thing. No. That shit was real. And Rose existed. It's just weird.
It's just weird.
It's just weird. And people didn't, like, we didn't know that until obviously the later games came out, and like Rose and your child are both there in MGS4, and then later they're also there in Revengeance. And it's like, okay, so it was real. It's just artsy and very David Lynch-ian, right?
Absolutely.
But yeah, okay, so I am very happy that you had no idea what this game ended like, because this is right up there with, like, you know, the ending of Final Fantasy VII, or like Sheik is Zelda. Like, the ending of MGS2 is one of those things that, like, Spec Ops The Line wouldn't have been made without it. And honestly, like, half of the game stories that we have now end the ambiguous way that they do because of the way that this game ends. And I love it. Some people really hate it. That makes me like it more.
Of course.
What did you think? How did you like this game?
I'm still processing it.
That's fair. There's a lot to go through. Like, okay.
I am very much still processing it.
Because it happens from the moment that Vamp stabs Emma, right? Like, the entire game just fucking goes off the rails and then some. Oh, I love it. I adore the AI kernel. I love everything having to do with Arsenal Gear. To me, I've said this before. The first game that I played in the series was MGS4, which is the worst way to go about it.
Yeah.
MGS4 and MGS2 are my favorite for reasons like this, because it's just... I feel like MGS2 is peak Kojima. It's where he didn't, like, become... It doesn't have the writing problems that Death Stranding has. It's still reined in, it's still relatively well edited, and for what it's trying to do, and for the points that it's trying to make, and like the commentary that it's trying to have, it does such a good job at actually realizing that. Like, as a critique of the series, and as a critique of the fan base, I think it's great. I think it's my favorite out of all of the games. But also, like, okay, so there's something that we didn't mention, right? Which is, obviously, you, at the time, were not supposed to know that Raiden was a thing. You were supposed to play through, they released the demo.
You were supposed to expect to play as Snake.
Yes. And, like, the demo came out, and the demo was just the tanker chapter. No mention of Raiden.
They just fucking brutal legend you.
And not only that, but they also lied in the marketing of the game, which is that's the sticking point. That's the thing we didn't talk about, is when you go back and watch the trailers for MGS2, Snake is in the big shell, and he's like he was edited into moments where Raiden was. That was in magazines, that was in TV spots, that was in the trailers. You were not supposed to know, and people were fucking pissed. And
that's fucking good.
And there is merit to that, right? Like, there's totally merit to that, but I think that is 125%, 130% totally worth it. And then you get Raiden as he goes through the games. I personally really, really like Raiden as a protagonist. He's Shinji. He's Shinji with a little bit more going on.
A little bit.
Also, just the actual boss fights in this game are excellent. Fighting Vamp, fighting Fat Man. Oh my god, it's so good.
None of them are quite... Like, this is going to come off weird. I was going to say none of them are quite the way that Psycho Mantis is, but I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, like, there's no one thing... Like, Psycho Mantis you point at, and you're like, oh, this is where Metal Gear made all of the money forever to this day. And, like, became like, oh, you like to play Castlevania? There's no moment like that with any of the bosses in this game. Instead, all of that gets taken from the bosses and put directly into, like, the last hour and a half.
Yeah. But not only that, but you can point to Psycho Mantis and be like, okay, this is the problem with this fight. And
yes.
Metal Gear Solid 2 doesn't really have that. All of the fights are pretty well reined in. They're doable. They're manageable.
They're a lot more playable. There's no...
There wasn't a fight in fucking Metal Gear Solid 1 that we spent like an hour and a half on.
No. That Ray fight did come close, though. I apologize for that.
Through speech, music, literature, and movies, what we've seen, heard, felt, anger, joy, and sorrow.
Fear!
These are the things I will pass on. That's what I live for. We need to pass the torch and let our children read our messy and sad history by its light. We have all the magic of the digital age to do that with. The human race will probably come to an end sometime, and new species may rule over this planet. Earth may not be forever, but we still have the responsibility to leave what traces of life we can. Building the future and keeping the past alive are one and the same thing.
Because what are you supposed to build on if not a good foundation?
That's right. Good stuff. But wait.
There's more.
Snake, you there? It's me. I've finished going over that disc.
Did you find the Patriots list?
Of course. It contains the personal data of 12 people. There was a name on it. Snake, it was one of our biggest contributors.
What's going on around here?
I don't know.
Anyway, where are they?
Well, we were right about them being on Manhattan, but...
But what?
They're already dead. All 12 of them.
When did it happen?
Well, about 100 years ago.
What the hell?
What?
What ho?
You know what that means?
It means that the Patriots are a ghost and they're an AI.
It also means that the fucking, the disc, it was a dud.
That's also true.
Everybody got played. The Patriots are still out there, which is really bad. Okay, let's see, 10 hours, not too bad. A lot of rations, though, unfortunately. Lot of rations. Elephant. I think you get elephant if you have more than 31 rations used, which, fair. New item. Got a digital camera, okay. Got a digital camera for the plant. Yeah, I'll save that.
You saved that digital camera.
I will. Oh boy. Okay, yeah. So this is a really good game. Is there anything that you would like to? Oh wait, there is one more thing actually. When you go back to the menu after having completed it, the menu changes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, there you go. Now it's riding
There
instead
you
of
go.
snake.
Now it's riding.
Yeah, that's really good. Again, you know, that's another point, is like, even when you start the game, and when you're like 75% of the way through the game, it's not until you beat it that the main menu even shows you the main character. MGS2.
Oh my god, this fucking game.
I know. Yeah, and this is, again, it ran a little bit longer than it usually does. It ran for about a half an
50
hour.
more minutes.
Yeah. So because of that, you know, there is no good place to stop when it comes to, because if you think about it, we started like 5 minutes probably away from fighting Vamp, and then Vamp is like maybe 10-15 minutes away from stabbing Emma. But then once he stabs Emma, it's like, what? You gonna stop in the middle of that? Are you fucking kidding me?
Fucking no.
No.
Out of your mind.
So big props to, first of all, for you, Bix, for sticking around for 3.5 hours, because what a roller coaster ride, right?
And big props for you for actually beating the game.
Well, thank you. I love this game. I had to do a little bit more this time, I would say. MGS1 is, like I said, there's so much more that can go wrong in each individual room, right? So every session that we've done, I did like 1 or 2 times beforehand before we actually went in to record it. Again, just kind of to make sure that we weren't spending 20 hours on Metal Gear Solid 2. And each game is gonna get only like fucking 5 is an open world game, so like that's gonna be a nightmare. But it's also a lot more playable. I love this game. I hope you guys out there enjoyed it. Once again, we will be doing a wrap-up stream afterwards to kind of fully discuss everything that went on, as well as talk about the Easter eggs that we missed, the cut content, because there is quite a lot of it, and some of the original versions of this game that got left out on the cutting room floor that we didn't get to see, because there's a lot of stuff. One point I will point out to you, you know how Fortune is, she's got her saxophone solo every time she goes anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
In the original version of the game, that was because she was carrying a saxophone that she was playing while she was just walking around.
That's a bit much.
Yeah, and like you hear that, and it's like, oh, no wonder Ocelot is like giving her shit about being,
oh, you were the drama queen. You couldn't get enough of your own story.
It's like, I love this game. It's so good. You guys should all play it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Anything that you want to say before we head out, Bix?
I gotta use the bathroom.
Okay, you heard it here first, folks. Have a good night, everybody.